skew symmetric matrix. Skew symmetric matrix. Now, what is the importance of this? See, in industry exposure, you will find out the importance of this. When you go to industry, you have to define a matrix. See, matrix is nothing but system parameters, right? So these are elements of the system parameters we fix up in the matrix, right? So as an engineer, we should understand why these things are important for us. So when you are finding out, the system parameters, so on the basis of this symmetry or skew symmetry, we come to certain conclusions. So when you go to the industries, you will understand things in depth. But for time being, you should understand that these are important in terms of questions, right? Let us solve one question, very simple question, which was asked in GATE paper. In GATE 2009, this came GATE 2009, right? 1 mark. It was a 1 mark question which was asked. Very simple question. Based on the above definition, we will discuss. Question language was a square matrix B is skew symmetric if options were B transpose is equals to B. Option B, B transpose is equals to B inverse. Option C, B transpose is equals to minus B. And option number D is B transpose is equals to minus of B inverse. Right? This was basically B inverse. Okay, so very simple. This is a definition. Basically, skew symmetric. We have mentioned that what is the definition? A is equals to minus A transpose. So here it will become which option? Yes, it will be the C option. Directly 1 mark in your pocket. Right? So that was very simple questions asked in GATE papers. You can easily solve them if you understand the fundamentals. If you don't understand the fundamentals, then it will become a very Herculean task for you. Right? Okay, third one. So first we have discussed symmetric, then we have discussed skew symmetric, and the third one in the real matrix we will discuss is something called as orthogonal matrix. What is orthogonal matrix? It's very simple. If you can say A into A transpose, if this comes out to be I, that is identity matrix. And such matrices are called as orthogonal matrix. Such matrices are called as orthogonal matrix. This is a simple property which you should remember. It will help us in solving questions in the later stages. Right? Now, okay, with this thing, we will conclude the matrices part. We will use them, but next we should discuss is something called as concept of determinant. Concept of determinants. First of all, let us discuss something of what is called as, what do you mean by minors and cofactors. Okay, before we go to minors and cofactors, let us first discuss a basic elementary idea on how we find determinants. I think everybody is aware of how to find out determinant of a matrix. Let's say a matrix, let's say 1, 2, 3, 4. Right? How we find the determinant of this? What is the determinant? Determinant of A, represented by modulus sign, is nothing but this is 1 into 4. You see, cross 1 into 4 minus 2 into 3. Right? So this is nothing but 4 minus 6, or you can say it is minus 2. As because it is modulus, we are always moving in modulus, so determinant is 2. So that is our determinant, isn't it? Right? Okay. So this is a very simple thing. Now let us move on to minors and cofactors. Minors and cofactors. So why we are discussing about minors and cofactors is because we wanted to find A inverse, and which is dependent on minors and cofactors basically, right? And why we are doing about A inverse? Because in GATE examinations, many questions are asked on A inverse, right? Okay, so let us consider a determinant value of A. I've taken a general value A11, A12. This is the first row. This is the, let's say, second row. So all elements will start with 2, right? And let's say this is 3 1, 3 2, and 3 3. Determinant, or you can say this is not a matrix basically. I'm talking about the determinant part. So I'm saying this is a determinant, right? Now we need to find out what are minors, right? So if I say, for example, minor, if we talk about, so what is the definition? First of all, leaving the row and column passing through the element aij, you know, leaving the row and column passing through passing through element aij, then the second order determinant thus obtained, it will be second order obtained, right? Because you left one row, one column. In the above, it was 3 cross 3, right? Yes, that is what we are trying to say. Obtained is called the minor element. Is called the minor element. It is the minor element. MINOR element A is called as the minor of element, if I'm not wrong, minor of element aij, and will be denoted by, and will be denoted by capital M ij, right? Capital M ij. So if we wish to find out, let's say for example, minor a to 1, we wish to find minor of a to 1, we can say leaving the second row and the first column, leaving the second row and the first column, so it will become a12, which is left out, and a13. Similarly, you will be left with a32 and a33, second row and first column. So this will be a small determinant of order 2. This is nothing but, if you want the determinant value, is nothing but the M21, the minor 21, you can say M21. Clear? Let us take one more example. If you say minor, so it will become more clear. Let us find out minor of element 3 2. Minor of element 3 2. So minor of element 3 2 will be, can be written as what column should I remove? Second column, yes. And what row? Third row, right? So this will give me an idea. It will become a11, which is left out, a13, a21, a23, and you represent it by how much? M23. Clear? So this is a very simple thing about minor, right? Then we will talk about something called as cofactor. Something about cofactor. We talked about minors, we should also talk about cofactors, because minors and cofactors are connected to each other, right? How will you find the cofactor of that element? The minor. Let's talk about the definition. The minor Mij multiplied by -1 to the power I plus j is called the cofactor element. Is called as the cofactor element of Aij. Correct? For example, let's say if I want to find, it is denoted by capital Aij. Let's say if I want to find the capital Aij, so in the formula format I will say -1 to the power I plus j into the minor element Mij. Right? For example, if I wish to say that in the above example, if I want to find the cofactor element of A32, we can represent it by capital A. This can be represented by capital A. So if I represent this by capital A32, will be nothing but -1 to the power 3 plus 2, and determinant value we already calculated the minor value A11, A13, A21, A23. So this will become the cofactor. -1 to the power something odd is going to give you -1 only. Yes, so this will become -1. It can depend on the summation of I plus j. If it is even, this will become positive. If it is odd, it will become negative. Right? Let us take an example so that we understand it strongly. An example, let's say if there is a matrix A which says it is 2, 3, 0, 4, 5, 8, and let's say 1, 2, 4. I have taken a very random matrix which is given to you, right? Or let us take some easy values. This will give you some complexity in solving the equation. So let me take it some easy values. So, or let us take it some value which have appeared in a paper, right? So let us take some practical values. 1, 2, 0, let's say, -1, 6, 1, 2, 0, 2. I've taken some value which will be easy to understand. You can do the earlier example also, right? So we wanted the cofactor matrix we represent. We'll find out all the cofactors of all the elements and we'll put it here, right? Let us find out the cofactors, right? Cofactors of matrix A. Matrix A means we will find cofactors of each element. I belong to 1, j belongs to 1, and so on, right? So if I solve it, you will find that this is coming out to be 12, 4, -12, -4, 2, 4, 2, -1, 8. How you got it? You can solve it. I'll just show you one cofactor, that is cofactor element A11. Cofactor element A11 will be -1 to the power 1 plus 1 into M11. Right? So first of all, we will find M11. So M11 will be nothing but first row, first column, leave. That means first row, first column, you leave. So you're left with 2, 0. Sorry, not 2, 0. 2, 0 will be left out. So you'll get 6, 1 and 0, 2. So what is the determinant? It is nothing but 12 minus 0, or you can say 12. Right? And if I substitute this is M11. This is not A11. Right now this is M11. So A11 will become -1 to the power 2 into 12. That will be 12. Clear? Similarly, if you find A12, it will become -1 to the power 1 plus 2 and M12. Or you can say it is -1 to the power 3 and M12. You can find M12. So by matrix, and you will find that this is nothing but coming out to be positive 4. Clear? Got it? So you found the cofactor matrix A. You multiply and you can get it. Right? Now similarly, if I want to find the determinant of this A, that is the cofactor matrix, or you can say the determinant of A, you can easily say this is nothing but 1 into 12, right, plus 2 into 4 plus 0 into minus 12. If you solve it, you will get this to be coming out to be how much? 12 plus 8 plus 0, that is 20. Right? So anything could be found out with this particular fashion. Right? So this is all about determinants and cofactors and minors. Right? And now we will talk about. I told you that we are doing all these things to just get to the A inverse. So before getting into A inverse, there is one more important thing we will discuss here, that is adjoint of a matrix. Now what is adjoint of a matrix? Adjoint is very simple. Adjoint is nothing but adjoint of A is given by cofactor of A matrix transpose. So we have found cofactor of A, and if we get the transpose, we'll get the adjoint. Very simple definition we can give, right? Now we can come down to something called as inverse. So we started with finding out minors, cofactors, cofactor matrix A, and its transpose, that is adjoint. And now we are saying inverse of a matrix. So by definition, A inverse is nothing but adjoint of A divided by the determinant. Very simple. We know how to find the adjoint now, and we know how to find the determinant also. Okay. So we have understood how to take the both the things.